Hi, I'm Tori.
And I'm Leah.
And I'm Carly.
And welcome back to the Boys Lie Podcast.
A podcast where we talk about the craziest relationship stories you've ever heard, pop culture, and the piping hot tea of our lives.
So buckle up, enjoy the ride, and remember that boys lie.
Boys lie. Boys lie.
Boys lie.
Boys lie. Boys lie, y'all.
Boys lie.
Them boys, they be lying.
Boys lie.
Oh my God, spooky.
Hi, Carly.
Hi, guys.
Hi, we're so excited to have you on today.
Thanks for having me. I'm the biggest fan of the brand, so I'm so hyped.
We should have sent you a sweatsuit in advance, and it's criminal we didn't do that, so I'm so sorry.
I was at Hallie's apartment, my friend Hallie, last year, and I stole one of her Boys Lie sweatshirts, and I wear it all the time, so I was like, sorry, you're not getting that back.
So you will get a nice package sent to your house.
Thank you. I'm so excited.
It'll be gorgeousness, I promise.
We have really good stories this week. These ones are a little bit longer, so I think we are going to start with story time.
If you have a story you'd like to share on the Boys Lie podcast, please share via boyslieofficial.com. And if your story gets chosen to be on the podcast, then you win a free sweatsuit.
Woo! Carly, do you want to start this week?
Sure.
Okay.
So I started dating this guy during February of freshman year of college. We'll call him John. He was my best friend, and I got really close with his friends as well. My girlfriends and his friends would all hang out every weekend, even before we started dating. We were all so close to the point where one of his friends saw my parents at a concert and went and talked to them and got a picture with them. He had started acting pretty odd once we left school in May. I didn't know why. I was so in love with him that I just chalked it up to distance. He came to visit me a couple times. Neither of us lived within driving distance to school. We had to fly. And I went to visit him a couple of times. And every time that happened, he would get mad at me for little things. What I was wearing, what I wanted to do or not do. He would start checking my phone and ultimately made me block someone I was friends with and had been friends with since before we met. Come August, I was so mentally drained. He was so rude to my mom and had these traditional gender roles that he wanted me to fit into. I clean, cook, etc. And he wouldn't help with any of that.
Being rude to the mom.
Yeah, that's
Biggest red flag.
Yeah. We came back to school. I hadn't seen any of my school friends in 3 months, and I was reconnecting with everyone again, saying hello, etc. In the first 5 days of being back, we had the same argument 4 times. He didn't like that I could be happy outside of him. For example, having other friends, not always needing to be with him, etc. We would fight, and I would get so tired, I would just apologize to get him to stop fighting with me. We ended our relationship mutually after 6 days of being back at school. Our friend group still continued to hang out, and everything was normal. About a month after we broke up, all of his friends left our group chat and stopped talking to me. I was so confused. Everything was fine. What changed? He texted me saying we need to talk, and he yelled at me for an hour, saying he would continuously check my phone and read my messages and then lie and tell me he wasn't. He told me his friends never liked me to begin with. Remember the story of his friend finding my parents at a concert, and that he knows I cheated on him. I absolutely did not ever cheat on him. His friends haven't spoken to me since that day because they think I cheated. They took his side. My friends took no side. Half of them still went to hang out with them on weekends, knowing I wasn't allowed there. All of his friends took his side and stopped talking to me, but only half my friends could take mine. And instead, they told me they don't want to take sides, which essentially told me that they thought it was okay for him to treat me the way he did. I didn't even tell the complete story because that is very personal. It hurts to know someone could hurt me the way he did, and people who I thought were my best friends would still support him and hang out with him. I felt and still feel like I'm in the wrong because I was the one who was dropped. He got to keep all the friends, and I lost almost half of mine. I didn't understand, and it took a lot of talking to a therapist to help me get to the point that I am today. It's been almost 2 years since all of that went down, and it still hurts, especially because some of my friends are still close with them.
Wow. Whoa.
That sucks. And also, like, it's kind of crazy because I do feel like in a lot of breakups, the girl is always the one who's faulted, or it's like auto defaults to the woman's being the problem in this scenario. I actually went fresh out of college. I had a breakup and I started seeing someone else not too shortly after. And I remember my ex's friends, like, blew up my spot and, like, started texting me all these foul, mean things. And honestly, it was so messed up because my girlfriend still hung out with them too sometimes. And I felt so left out and so hurt. But then I also realized at the same time, when you're younger, your bubble is so small, and it's really like the world is huge, and you're going to meet so many new friends and have such bigger friend groups than what this is. And I promise, like, things will change.
I agree.
I also think, like, I like, it kind of makes me mad for her about, like, the friends situation. Like, my best friends, and maybe this is a maturity thing, I think that when you're in college, things are a little immature.
Yeah.
And as you said, like, the bubble is smaller, so you feel like that's all you have. But like true friends should stick up for you. Like my friends now would beat the shit out of this guy and bitch out all of the friends.
So true.
So I just think like maybe that's maturity. I wouldn't hold it against them, but I hope that one day her friends do come around and apologize, or at least like own that is really hurtful.
I know, but at the same time, it's like she should. I don't even know if I'd want to be friends with those people.
I was just about to say, I
'Cause,
don't
like,
think that those are real friends. Like, they should be girls through and through.
And I can't even imagine how frustrating it probably felt or feels to like have to prove your innocence almost in something that like you didn't do, and then you're not even telling the full story because you want to protect him. And like, I'm really sorry that happened to you. I'm very happy that you are seeing a therapist, because if you don't have like a friend group, like you need somebody to talk to. That's like a third party that is not going to be biased about the situation. But like true friends, like you said, they'll stick around. And these friends that you had, like if they're going to choose a side and not even be open to hearing yours, and like goodbye and good riddance.
Yeah, like not taking sides is crazy. Like
yeah.
you stick by your friend. I could commit murder and my friends would still be like,
Yes.
we have her.
Exactly. Oh my God. And you know, again, you'll find a better friend group, and hopefully that will be treated better.
And we're your friends now.
Yeah.
So.
And bye to this guy. I'm so glad that you're not with him anymore, honestly. He sounds like he sucks.
I know he does. Also, sorry, I'm like squirrel. Like literally, my ADD is so bad. I'm like, your nails look amazing. I can't stop staring at them.
Thanks.
Obsessed.
I was trying to do subtle Valentine's Day.
I love him.
Like, yeah.
Oh, I remember. I bet you he was honestly the one who cheated and made up this insane rumor just to like hide it.
Yeah.
I hate to say it, but I feel like that's what it is. And that's where
Probably.
it stems from.
Yeah, or like, because like, why is he projecting?
Yeah, it's
Exactly.
Unless he just has major trust issues, which in that case too, like he needs to work that out. Like you don't want to be with someone like
You should be seeing a therapist, because like you
Agreed.
can't bring your past trauma into your current relationship. So, we love you. Congratulations, you have a free sweatsuit. Yeah. Do you want to go next?
Sure. I'm a serial monogamist. It's all right. We've been there, done that. I've only been in a few relationships in my adult life, and I have exactly one story where I was super petty. My ex, let's call him Kyle, and I were together for 6 years, and the truth is we grew apart. I feel like I grew into someone more independent, and he didn't like that. He liked me being dependent on him financially and otherwise. I was 20 when I got in a relationship, and he was 32, so there was a big gap in the life lived. That is a big gap.
Wait, she was 21, he's 32?
No, she was. Oh, yeah, she was 20 and he was
that's
32.
a big age gap.
Yeah, 12 years. That's pretty heavy.
Yeah.
What started as a feeling of security in the relationship became oppressive as I grew into someone new. Kyle became mean and put me down constantly, just generally trying to squash my confidence and self-worth. With time and therapy, I can see patterns of abusive behaviors. We moved to Nashville during the pandemic for my work. He works remote. We decided we would look at buying a house because the rent was getting crazy. This actually means he bought it on his own, and I was expected to pay half the mortgage and dump a ton of money into it to fix it up while gaining no equity.
Oh, so she was basically paying rent on a property that he owned, and he's just like making money off of her every month. And then at the end, he's just gonna get to own the house, and you just are throwing away your
and
money.
then fixing like damages to the house. That's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
Anyways,
that's bizarre.
Kyle and I ended up finding a cute cottage in a great walkable area that the previous owners had converted into an Airbnb for bachelorette parties. The bones were fantastic, but from the drywall out the house was a Pinterest craft fueled nightmare. Okay, so the house is basically falling apart. All the rooms had dizzying wallpaper, and closets had been gutted and turned into photo op walls. Oh, while annoying, this didn't actually impact the livability of the house, but the kitchen needed immediate attention. The previous owners removed any appliance that could get busted by drunk bachelorettes. Oh my God. Where the dishwasher once was, there now lives a wine fridge. Cool, but didn't want one and had to hand wash all of my dishes and no stove. This wasn't an instance
No
of...
stove.
Like, what is going on here?
How is she gonna cook?
Guys,
Awful.
there could have been another cottage op it. Like,
Yeah, what?
this, I would have said no to
How are
this
you gonna
in the
cook?
buying process of this man.
The no dishwasher, I'm like, that sucks, but like you could make it, but no stove. Like you can't even like
No.
make tea. Like
What are you supposed
can't-
to do
soup?
with that?
Like what are you gonna do? You can't
No
do any
soup.
no soup. How are you gonna survive?
Okay. So basically this place is falling apart. Even though he sucks, I'm going to praise Kyle's home renovation skills. He had a general contractor background. Wow. And we gutted the entire cottage and rebuilt it from the studs in. About 3 weeks of nonstop work on the house, new drywalls, paint, remodeled bathrooms, and function closet. If you didn't, okay. I'm like, what?
She's like,
Hello. To get in stock appliances, we ended up shopping way beyond the budget that we anticipated. Kyle's parents paid for the fridge as a housewarming gift, and he covered the dishwasher. To quote unquote pull my weight, Kyle told me that I needed to buy a stove and the laundry setup Before the lease on our apartment ran out, I bought the appliances and put about $10,000 into this to remodel in the first month of the home, quote unquote, ownership.
Oh my God.
About 2 months after we moved in, I had finally had it with Kyle's put downs, controlling attitude, and constant bickering, and dumped his ass. I called my parents, rented an Airbnb, and moved out. I drained my savings, putting money into the house, so I approached Kyle about reimbursing me for the money that I had put into the house, even partially, and he told me absolutely not, because I had pissed him off. He wanted the stuff I hadn't moved out yet gone by the end of the week, and then he was changing the locks. So he's kicking her out of this house that she also spent time renovating with him, dumped some money in, and
I have so much to say.
okay. I realized it was probably best I was best off moving back to my own hometown, my old hometown, to be near my support network, and made plans with my parents to move back home. My dad flew out to help me, and I scrambled to move everything out of the house into storage or my Airbnb. My dad did not think highly of Kyle as is, and was not crazy about how much money I had put into the house, and I had no claim to. He asked me when we were getting a U-Haul to pick up the stove, washer, and dryer. It had literally not occurred to me to take them because they were a part of the house, and I had no idea where to put them. Anywhere I moved would have had those already, but Kyle was being such a dick, I decided to take them with me out of spite. My dad rented the U-Haul and called a friend to help me out to move the stove, washer, dryer, that I all spent way too much money on. Kyle called me a petty bitch, but I paid for them, and they were coming with me. Also, like, why wouldn't they come with
Yeah,
them?
they're yours. You own them.
As you should.
Yeah, your dad was smart also for making that call out.
Yeah.
My dad was never the person I looked up to for emotional support, but he was truly my hero through this breakup. He drove the U-Haul back to our home state, 11 hours away, and then flew me back to help me drive my car back home because I was nervous driving in the mountains alone. My dad is super allergic to cats, but he drove with one back with us. 11 hours with my cats in the back seat. This is the most petty thing I've ever done in a relationship, and I stand by it. The appliances lived unplugged in my parents' garage for about a year until the washer was able to go to my sister's place. I'm sure Kyle went out and bought replacement appliances the next day, but years later, I still smile about the look on his face when he realized I was actually taking the stove, washer, and dryer with me. I feel like this isn't really that petty.
Yeah,
No,
I'm
I'm
like,
like, girl, you're not petty at all.
You own those appliances. That's not petty. You just took back what's yours.
Yeah.
And like, this is so crazy. I do wish that if you're listening to this, like, take notes, because like, I do wish this person had advice on like what not to do when moving with somebody, especially somebody that you're not marrying. But like, think about it. That's almost like if I'm renting my apartment right now, which I am, me buying a brand new stove, washer, dryer, dishwasher for my unit that I don't even own. Like, there's no point.
Look,
like,
also, like, we've all made financial mistakes. I've made
mistakes.
like serious ones that I deeply, deeply regret, and that were true learning lessons. And this sounds like this was one of those scenarios. But also, like, again, don't ever like buy into or invest into a house that's not gonna have your ownership name on it.
I know, I agree.
Yeah, and this was like his thing. Like, he's the one, I feel like, who wanted to do all of this and renovate and whatever. So like the fact that he even allowed her to put $10,000 into this house, like,
as a 32-year-old, and she wasn't even 21 yet, like
While
legally
she's
able to drink.
crazy.
That's
While
like
she's paying down the mortgage too.
crazy.
Yeah, like, get out of town.
I know. I feel so bad that like you fell for that, but like it's a huge learning lesson. Honestly, we always say like if you're gonna, like, even in business, like if you're gonna make mistakes, it's best to fail really early on, because then you learn your lesson. So like, thank God you are young and like you did make this mistake now, because I know moving forward, like, you will never make this mistake again, and you'll probably be way more smarter with your finances. But I can't believe that guy swindled you into doing that, especially as an adult.
I know, Kyle sucks. I
Kyle
also
sucks.
love your parents.
Yeah.
Same.
Your dad is amazing.
Yeah.
It really shows, like, parents, like, when things like this happen in your adult life.
No, they rally together for you, and it's
yeah,
really cool that your
yeah.
dad, like, even though he's not the most emotionally supportive, like, he was there.
Yeah, because he's allergic to cats, and he was like, "I'm getting you the fuck out of here with your cats. The cats are coming." You know.
The cats are coming.
Ugh. Well, I'm so sorry. I'm happy that you got all your stuff back. Okay, here's the last story. Ladies, buckle up, because this story ends with me launching a hydro jug full of ice water straight to my ex's lying face, right in front of his mom and his sister, before they slammed the door and locked him out of their house. Oh, and his mom was crying. Let's begin. So my ex and I dated for 2 years before officially breaking up in May of 2022. Our families were friends, so we kept things amicable, aka I tolerated his nonsense. Why did we break up? Because apparently relationships are too distracting for Mr. Future UFC fighter and his booming roofing business. But don't worry, he totally wanted to marry me, just, later. I told him point blank, if that was true, he wouldn't date anyone until his life was on track. Otherwise, he was just lying about why he really left. Keep that in mind. Fast forward to December. He hadn't done anything impressive except show up at my house unannounced the night before I flew out for the holidays, professing his undying love. Undying love, is that the right? Or is it like I thought it was like
Undying.
Okay, she's right. I'm wrong. He was ready now. He was ready to marry me, ready to prioritize me. His business and MMA career were both in shambles, but apparently I was all he needed to be fulfilled. Sweet, right? Yeah, no. I told him to join the race with all the other men in my life, but to start sprinting because there was no way in hell that he was catching up with them. Should I have told him to go directly to hell? Of course. But sometimes you just gotta watch a circus unfold, and unfold it did.
Wait, so sorry.
So they're dating, and he's like, I want to focus on my roofing business and my UFC career, and I'm not ready to marry you, but I want to marry you later on. And she was like, okay, bye. And then they broke up. But then he came back and was like, I'm ready to marry you now. And she's like, get in line.
So suddenly?
No.
How long
December.
after?
So she said they broke up in June, or sorry, they broke up in May 2022, and then in December he came back. So not only a couple months later.
My concern is like sometimes guys, like when they first break up with you, they regret it because they're actually starting to feel they're starting to feel what actually is like hurt.
Yeah.
So he was just processing. I don't trust that he has actually taken the time to like grow and change. Like you don't grow and change that fast. It's gonna come back again. That feeling will come back.
I know, I agree. So also just for timeline clarity, so they dated for 2 years before they officially broke up in May 2022. And then fast forward to December. So they broke up in May, comes back December. He's like, I want to be with you, whatever.
And she's like, get in line.
But I think she did accept him back.
Oh.
Because then she says, June 2023. In 6 months, the only thing this man accomplished was ghosting me on my birthday, calling me only during any crisis he could, and still insisting we were meant to be. Okay, so maybe they didn't get back, but he was still like
he was
fighting for her.
grafting.
Yeah.
Like,
but she says, but I was out thriving and only being nice to him for our family's sake. Then came the incident. His sister had just gotten home from the hospital with her new baby. I was there because I was her maid of honor and still a part of their lives. He barely spoke to me, but as he was leaving, he begged me to step outside. His sister gave me a look, and I rolled my eyes, but whatever. I had my freshly filled hydro jug in hand. And that's when this man, who had spent the last 6 months swearing up and down that I was his soulmate, had the audacity to just say, 1, he heard I was moving out of state. 2, he would happily move with me. 3, Florida was perfect for him and his business. And 4, he couldn't live without me. I told him.
So this sounds like more of like a him type of thing. Like he's doing this because it's like, I bet you it's like a little bit challenging, affordable wise to like live there. And he's like, oh, she can help me. Just, she can make the house a home and I don't really have to deal with much. And I can still do my own career, my own thing. And like, basically like, that's it.
all I hear is him.
Yeah, exactly. And it's also complicated because like their families are best friends. Like she's at his sister's
It sounds like he wanted her
hospital room.
He wants her support so that he can live his dreams without care of her.
And it's like convenient too, because it's already, the families already get along. Like he's like, oh, this is great.
Yeah.
And I don't have to try.
And so dumb.
So she says, I told him absolutely not. And he hit me with, I will never get married to anyone but you, but anyone I date will never compare to you. And then I asked $1 million question. And I said, are you dating someone right now? And he said, yes, since January. And she says, I blacked out. You mean to tell me that you've been proposing to me, offering to move for me, ruining my birthday, crying to your sister about losing me, all while you've been dating somebody else? Oh, baby. The hydro jug came open. I threw that ice water straight into his lying, cheating, delusional face, and he froze. From the cold, from the fear, from the reality check, who knows? I calmly told him that he would never hear or see from me again, not even know if I was dead or alive, and then I turned on my heel and marched inside, where his mother and sister were both standing, mouths open, watching everything. His mother locked the door behind me and asked, what did he do? And turns out they watched the whole thing unfold like chismosis.
Oh my God, if this was going down in my house, my dad would for sure be on the cameras being like, so this is so lit.
Oh my God, yeah. Like, literally
like on his phone,
watching
he'd be like, fuck.
the sound up.
Yeah. My sisters probably too. They'd be like, oh, fuck yeah.
It's like it's like a reality show. So I gave them the rundown while blocking him and any mutuals we have on every platform known to man and searching his face in my photos and deleting any trace of his existence. Then his mom started crying, and his sister was furious I ever even dated him, and she's put in parentheses, she did warn me. And when he started blowing up his sister's phone, begging her to talk me into seeing him, his mom shut it down. Leave her alone and don't even think about bringing that girl around here. You are a disgrace. But wait, there's more.
Oh no.
The next day, I went to the happy hour at my spot, a restaurant he hates. But guess who was there? Him, with her. I stopped. I laughed. He looked terrified. This man had the nerve to bring his new girlfriend to my spot. I walked past, but before I could make it inside, she muttered, "He doesn't care about you anyways."
Oh, those are fighting
Oh
words.
my God.
Okay, also, like, girl, like, this would be the time where you guys become an alliance and, like, go against this man. Like,
I know. Well, so then she goes, I spun around so fast, I think time reversed. He was standing next to her already regretting his life choices, and I unloaded. And she said, really? Is that why he's been begging me to talk? Why he's been crying to his sister to get me back and to unblock him? And why he told me yesterday that he'd moved to Florida for me? And why he said that no one will ever compare to me? Did he also tell you that he's been proposing to me every other day for the last 6 months? Did he tell you that? Her jaw on the floor. Me laughing. I turned to her and said, good luck, babe, you're going to need it. And then I turned to him and said, I lied yesterday. This is actually the last time that you will ever see or hear from me. Go fuck yourself. And with that, I walked inside to order a drink and celebrated my freedom. His sister called me minutes later saying he was blowing her phone up, begging her to talk me into seeing him again. And she also told him to go fuck himself. Fast forward to now. His family still loves me. I got invited to the baby's first vacation. He did not. And I'm living. Meanwhile, he's, well, I don't know. And I'm just fine with that. And that, ladies, is my boy's life story. Now, if someone could send me a sweat set, it would make this trauma so worth it. Love you guys.
that was a great story to read in general. I like love when storytelling is so well written like that. I really have like an appreciation deeply for it.
She's like a really
Also,
good storyteller.
I'm blocking out her name, but like it's like spaced
Oh my
out,
God.
and so it was so much
This is a
easier
book.
to read.
I think this needs to be published, honestly.
No, so lovely. I appreciate the family taking her side in this, and I think that the first red flag, for instance, if your own sister is telling you
Yeah.
His own
sister is telling her, like, if it's his sister, literally his like blood related sister is like, don't date this man, don't do it.
No, that's us. If like, oh my God, I'm just like trying, because I have a little baby brother, and like I am trying to imagine me ever feeling so like it's so necessary to tell his girlfriend to run.
Yeah.
Like that's when you know it's bad. Like
Right.
that's crazy. Like I can't even imagine that.
Yeah, to choose the other person over family,
Family?
like blood relative, that means it's gotten bad.
So bad. I also just think like, if you're the girl that was in his actual girlfriend's, like his labeled girlfriend's shoes, and you're sitting at the lunch and you see this woman walk in, the things your man has been saying about this woman, like maybe like take a second guess and like see that there's three sides to every story, one person the other, and the truth in the middle, and like understand too that like there's got to be a reason why this man takes so much time to hate on this woman so much.
Yeah, like especially being like the other girl, I feel like we always say like girls need to have each other's backs, and like it's never like gonna end up good if you choose violence instead of like being kind. So like the fact that the girl did say like he doesn't even care about you, like just don't even say anything at all if you are like the new girlfriend. I've actually never even had a bad encounter or beef with any of my exes. Have you guys?
I've had weird as fuck encounters.
Really?
With my ex's current girlfriend.
No
That-
way.
yeah.
Wait, your ex's? Okay, your
My
ex's
ex's current girlfriend.
Okay, why? Can you tell?
Yeah.
Okay.
This is like crazy. Me and my ex, like I'm 27. Me and my ex literally dated in high school and for the first year of college.
Okay.
And this past year, like she had always like, I guess, I don't know, like I used to make like petty TikToks about like my ex, but like who fucking cares?
Yeah.
Like,
Who also
it could have been
doesn't, like,
everyone,
at this point?
anyone, nobody knows who my ex is. I didn't date him online.
Yeah.
I wasn't an influencer.
Right.
Like no one knows who he is.
Yeah.
Except for like his family would know. But I, like, whatever.
Yeah, we get it.
So
We're picking up what you're putting down. Don't worry.
Yeah,
that's
Except his
actually really
family
funny.
Who's also watching my TikTok.
yeah, like his family's definitely still
Yeah.
following me and they know the vibes, but also like fine.
The vibes are immaculate, honestly.
But anyways, I made a TikTok this past year. It had nothing to do with my own life. I made a TikTok up referencing a situation my best friend was going through.
Okay.
And his current girlfriend had the audacity to DM me on Instagram and be like, I thought you were a girl's girl. I can't believe you're going online and
she
talking
had
about
to
me.
involve herself.
And I was like, wait,
Well,
what?
and it's also really
I was
funny.
out to dinner on a Saturday night too
I would
with
have
all my
responded
friends.
and been like, well, you know, it's not about you, but if the shoe fits, sister.
Wait,
Yeah.
my friend told me to write that and I did.
Oh, fuck yeah.
No way.
Literally, I did.
Wait.
Like
But why did she say why or stop bringing me into this?
Because she thought that she was talking about her. Not her friends.
Okay,
But
okay,
it was I said like something like, oh my God, when like the guy that you're dating ends up dating someone that's like a copy paste of you, but like less classy.
And she immediately was like, that's
she
about
immediately
me.
said that to me. I'm like, girl, I was not at all. Like, I think she's adorable. Like, I was like, she's so cute. Like, I love them together. Like, I'm happy for them. They're the same energy, same vibe. And she took that like, she's the less classy version of me.
Well, she exposed herself because now she's like spite following you, and you know that she's a hate follower now.
I know. And I was like, oh. Like apparently people were sending it to her. I'm like, why do all your friends know who I am? Like,
I
why?
bet you she obsesses over it. Like, I'm sorry, that sucks.
You're big on the internet, so she probably, obviously, I'm sure
You're
you
big
have
on the internet.
Well, sorry, that's like the worst way to say
You're
it.
a public figure.
You have a really big following. So like, I'm sure that she sees your stuff more than you think she does.
guess
But like,
so.
it's almost more awkward to respond to her and be like, actually, it's not about you. It's about
No, I
this
said
person.
that.
And then be like,
No, I literally
Just
would
be like,
say
no,
it's
yeah,
not
you're
about
right.
you, but if the shoe fits, like by all means.
it's like, it's not about you, sister. Like, I'm sorry, but like.
No, but I think she felt like shook after because I literally within 2 seconds, like I'm very like I'm confrontational.
Yeah.
Like I
Yeah.
don't let things go.
I'm so confrontational.
So
too.
she DM'd me. I immediately start typing up an essay. I'm like, this is not about you. Like for you to say that this is like about you is crazy. I haven't spoken to this man in 7 years.
Like, I'm not even thinking about you.
Yeah, I was like, this is about my best friend, and I'm going through a breakup right now. I was
Yeah.
currently going through a breakup from a guy that I had been
Oh
seeing.
my
So
God.
if
God.
anything, it could have been about my best friend, the guy I had been seeing anyone else, but that you are
But
the last
you.
person I was thinking of. In
It's
this,
kind of
What did she
hilarious. She made it
say?
all about her. She's gonna watch this.
She
and just be
apologized.
like,
Okay.
Oh, good.
and I was like,
That's so embarrassing.
I was like, honestly, like I really support you guys, and I'm really happy for you guys.
Good.
Or I was at least.
Yeah,
Now I'm like,
but it's like a little
have fun.
awkward because you're like, first, why don't you ask me first? Like, is this
Right.
about me? Like, if it is, like, that really sucks. Like, I thought that we were like cool.
I'm
or,
bummed.
like,
I thought everything was
I'm
all
a fan of
good.
yours. You know, like, I'm sorry if you feel this way about me, but I hope that we can like live peacefully if I ever see you.
Wait, I think it's really funny because then it just shows like she's thinking about you every day, and you have like blinders on. It's not even like
I
in the
literally,
revolving.
that was the last person I ever thought I would hear from ever, ever.
No, but even though you don't want revenge against these people at all, it almost is nice like knowing that they are like seeing your shit, because I
Yeah.
feel like if you did want revenge, it's kind of like the best revenge, that they can't escape you. And I feel like that's kind of like with our brands, like especially with our exes too, like
will haunt you.
will haunt
Yeah.
you. I mean, like people like anywhere you go, if you see someone wearing boys lie, you're gonna be thinking about me. I'm sorry.
Yeah, period. Yeah.
But you're in a new relationship now, right?
Yeah.
How's that going?
It's so good.
Good.
Like
Good.
we literally moved in together so fast, which is like scary because I was never that girl.
Yeah.
Like the type of person that was like, I'll wait like 2 years before moving in.
Yeah.
But then like with us, it was just, it made sense and we did it. And my mom, I was so hesitant. I was having like horrible like anxiety about it because I'm like, well, how everyone, like not about him, but about everyone judging me. And my mom's like, what is the worst that happens? Like you move out.
And everyone's always gonna have an opinion. Like,
also, like,
honestly,
that's part of like growing up too. Like,
Yeah.
things sometimes don't work out the way you want them to.
But that's not even what I thought was going to happen. But I feel the need to say it now
I know.
because I see my friends and I see how life goes and things do happen.
Yeah.
But
Oh,
he's
that
the
makes me
best.
sad that you did feel that way. You shouldn't have to ever feel
I
that way. No
know.
woman should ever have to feel that way. Like I've been seeing that too in the news about like Paige DeSorbo, if she's dating another person, whatever. I hope she is. Like,
yeah,
if she
like who
wants to,
cares?
she should
She's
be.
single.
Yeah, good for her.
It sucks that you do feel like the need to like explain yourself, because like I don't want you to ever feel that way, obviously. And like the thing is, like even if your friends or whoever, anyone is making an opinion, if they think it's too soon, like that's not their if it would be a mistake, it's not their mistake to make, or their like decision to make in general, because at the same time, like they don't know anything, they don't know your relationship, like
Right.
that's you. And like moving in with somebody in general is hard. Like it's not an easy task at all. Like
Oh my
for
God.
me personally, oh my God.
Your story, I mean, your situation was like really crazy. 'Cause
Yeah.
You really thought it was going to be like a fairy tale move-in, easy peasy situation.
Yeah.
Like,
And for background, like I've been with my boyfriend now for like almost like 5.5 years.
Mm-hmm.
We've lived together for like almost 4. And I always fantasize like when I move with my boyfriend, like, you know, it's gonna be like white picket fence, like we're gonna be like everything's gonna be so perfect and amazing. And like we had basically lived together, but not in our own space. So like in COVID, like we lived with both of our boyfriends in a house. It was a nightmare, but
you
whatever.
can only imagine.
So when we were finally moving in, I was like so excited, and it like I swear to God, I remember I was like coming into work every day, I was like crying. I was like, I think this might be the end of us. Like within like the first 2 months of us moving in, like we were butting heads like about the fucking junk drawer, like where the junk drawer should go, and like little things, like both of us getting used to like how we like things in our own space and not a shared space. And it was like such a really hard time for me. And like, I was like, we're not going to make it. And we're
my
fine now. But
God.
it was hard.
It's crazy how people like online, I feel like everyone is so like, God forbid you say you got in a fight with your boyfriend or
Oh my
something.
God.
People are like, you're not meant to be together.
Yeah.
Break up with him. And it's like, actually, I've realized, and I was that bitch. I was literally that person before I got into a relationship. And now, oh my God, I've changed so much because I'm like, no, relationships actually are hard sometimes. Like
They're a lot of work.
it's work. Like you
Yeah.
have to actively both like choose each other every day and like want to work through things and like it's not even like moving in together like you said. Like I mean, thank God like it's been
Good. I'm happy for you.
been great. But,
happy
but that
for you.
doesn't mean we never fight or we haven't gotten in fights over other things.
It's also
like,
normal to fight in any relationship,
Yeah.
whether that be like boyfriends, friends, like anyone. It's
Yeah.
normal.
yeah.
It
So-
probably also makes you nervous to like talk about it on the internet, like at all.
But that's a thing. I like genuinely don't care now because people are going to say what they're going to say, but I know the truth about my
Yeah.
relationship. I know like everyone in my family, my grandparents have all been married their entire lives. My parents have been married for 30 years.
It's so
I know
impressive.
what relationships, healthy relationships look like and are supposed to look like. And I know they're not perfect.
Yeah, never. They're never perfect.
Any person that's single I talk to, like that's like younger or like in a early relationship, those are the ones that are critiquing.
Yeah.
But the people that have been married for a long time, they're the
They
ones
get
that
it.
are they get it.
Yeah.
They're supportive. They're like
Literally.
move in together, push through the hard times. Like
Try.
yeah.
Put your heart on your sleeve. Try. See what happens.
Yeah.
If you love somebody, like I don't really, unless it's like, you know, you meet a guy, if like you met a guy and like you're like, I'm moving in with him like a month later, I'd probably be like, okay, like, are you sure you want to do that? But like, I think like if you feel in your heart it's meant to be, it's meant to be. Like
But
that's all that
also,
matters.
You're part of my support system, and if your mom was like challenging you a little bit, like I hope that you would challenge me.
I
You know
would,
what I mean?
yeah.
As my friend, just to be like, are you sure this is something you want to do? Like,
But
let's
I'm
weigh out the
never
pros
gonna
and
be
cons
like,
here.
don't do that.
Yeah.
You know, like
So my parents were supportive. My friends were some of my friends, like my closest, they're very protective over me.
Yeah.
Like sometimes to a fault. And I love them so much for it. It's like
No, it's a good
out of
thing
love.
that they're
But they were the ones that like challenged me about it for sure. And were like, is this the right thing? Because they know me and they know
Right.
that that's out of character for me.
yeah.
But like,
But as long as they're not, I think what I'm like also alluding to too, it's like, it's nice to have that challenge, but it's also nice, like even after the fact, after you make the decision, you still have that support.
Yeah.
Like they still are pillars
Yeah.
in your life.
yeah, exactly.
And you're not just going out here buying stoves and like refurbishing a
No,
place.
we're
without
not doing
your
any of
sign.
that.
Like,
But
your name
most I'm
signed
getting
on
is a
it.
painting.
Yeah,
That's
like
it.
Yeah. But I do like how you are like very transparent online too about your life. I feel like it's
so
again,
hard.
It's so hard. Like I'm sure it's not easy. And like I think like I would definitely struggle doing that. I mean, we're not influencers. I'm not trying to be one, but like I don't think I could ever. I don't know if I could because I feel like I'm so afraid of like I'm sensitive, I think, you know, so you
get
probably
it.
have built like a backbone and like I'm sure like there's been days where it's been a hard thing to do, but I really appreciate how transparent you are. And I think a lot of mostly everybody else does too.
Thank you.
don't stop doing you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On that
I think,
note.
well, I was gonna say, well, I don't know how much time we have, but like, if it makes you feel any better too, like I've been with my boyfriend for like 5.5 years, and I think like, especially with the boomer generation, like they're still like, when are you getting married? When are you gonna have kids? And like they ask all these
Yeah, oh
questions,
my
and it's
God.
stressful to me because it's like I feel outside pressure where it's like I am happy and I am in a healthy relationship, and I know we're gonna get married, and like I'm not stressed, but like it almost feels like more stressful, and everyone's like, what are you doing? Like, what's your plan? Like, and I just think it like the outside pressure, even if it's like don't do this or like they're worried about you, it is like. It
Well,
like
it's
gets
frustrating.
to you.
Even when you get engaged, for instance, when I got engaged, everyone's like, "So when's the wedding?" Or
Yep.
Yeah.
when's this? When's that? And I was like, I'm just trying to like live
let me
presently
live.
and
I
enjoy my
know.
engagement, like, and just live with that first.
But I think people literally like don't have social cues sometimes, and like we just don't know what else to say.
Yeah.
because like I'm even guilty of it, and like because people just don't know what else to say. So it's like the first topic of conversation. So it's like you kind of have to like know that it's like not personal.
not
Like
personal.
people literally
Yeah.
just don't know what the hell else to say.
Yeah,
to
I know.
people. But it's hard.
the worst one is when are you having kids?
Oh my god, that should be illegal.
No,
though.
I actually,
like,
that should be like a wrong thing. To
I
do.
agree because like
Not
also
everyone wants to.
not everyone wants to. Some
It's
people
hard to
have
get pregnant.
Some
Yeah.
people have fertility struggles. It's just like, completely inappropriate to ask anybody. And I've learned too, like in my adult life, like I will never ask anybody that unless they
Yeah.
bring it up to me and they want to talk
I've
about
been
it.
asked if I was pregnant.
Oh
my God, that was
that's
crazy.
jail.
I
no,
was
I was
like-
with her. I literally slapped the guy on the shoulder and I go, "You do not ask a woman that." Like, what
Wait,
the
that guy
fuck?
needs jail. Who?
We can't say it,
We
but
can't
like,
say who it was.
he's-
I'm sure
he's-
he'll like end up seeing that. We'll clip this part, but because it'll be really funny.
Yeah.
But when he sees this,
He
he'll be
wasn't
like,
a straight man. Not that that makes it any different. But he's like, "Oh my god, are you pregnant?"
Oh, I would kill.
And I was like, also, we hadn't seen him in months, and I was like,
and that's what you want to say. Yeah,
I was
like,
so
do I
pissed.
I was also like holding like a glass of wine. I was like, do I look pregnant? I'm also drinking. Like,
yeah, I would have
what?
literally just chugged the wine
Yeah,
and
like-
been like, yeah,
yeah, I am pregnant. I was like,
Where are the cigarettes? Like,
no, but he's in a. I don't want to say what it. But he should know better because of his job. Like he should never be asking somebody that.
yeah, no, nobody should ever.
You should know.
You should know.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Shit. Yeah.
And now you know.
And now you fucking know. My stomach literally also just growled. I don't know if you guys could hear it.
I
I'm
did
like,
hear it. That was
you
crazy.
did? Yeah. I'm like, I hope the mic doesn't
But I'm
pick
also
it
like
up.
sitting very close to you. It definitely won't pick it up.
I think we're gonna eat some lunch, but
God,
Carly, this was so fun. We love you so much. Thanks for coming on our
hanging out.
podcast.
This was so fun.
And everyone go watch her TikToks and follow her on Instagram and all the things. And
Be
yeah.
the most supportive of her and her relationship.
Yeah.
Thanks. Yeah, try guys.
We ship
Be
you
nice.
guys.
Be nice.
It'd be nice.
Yeah.
All
Be nice
right.
for watching you.
Well, on that note,
Buckle up
enjoy the ride.
and remember that.
Boys lie.
Boys lie. Boys lie.
Boys lie.
Boys lie. Boys lie, y'all.
Boys lie.
Them boys, they be lying.
Boys lie.